Let me hit you with a strange thought. What if the reason your life feels stressful isn't because things are actually going wrong, but because your brain reacts to everything like it's a breaking news headline? Seriously, someone walks slowly in front of you, and your brain goes, "This is a personal attack." Your phone dies at 12%, and your soul leaves your body. One unexpected email, and you're planning your escape to another country. Meanwhile, there are people out there who handle chaos like they're sipping tea in slow motion. Calm, unbothered, unshakable. They weren't born like that. They trained for it. And that's exactly what we're doing today with Stoicism. Let me guess, you're tired. Not physically tired, like, I need a nap. More like mentally tired, as if your brain has been running Windows 98 for the last 5 years. You wake up already stressed, like the day sent you a message saying, "Good morning, here's a new problem." Your first thought isn't peaceful. It's, "Please, not today." And it's not even the big problems that get you. It's the tiny, annoying, microscopic ones. Someone sends you a K. Your friend views your message on Instagram and doesn't reply. Your coworker breathes too loudly. Suddenly your mood is in the bin. Or maybe you're the overthinker type. You rehearse conversations that never happen. You imagine disasters purely because your brain is bored. You worry about things that haven't even been invented yet. And let's talk about emotional reactions. You know how you sometimes flip from calm to chaotic in 3 seconds? Like you're emotionally bilingual. One language is peaceful, the other is pure panic. You're self-aware. You know you shouldn't take things personally. You know you shouldn't overreact. But knowing and actually doing? Two very different life skills. Sometimes you see people who stay calm, like actually calm, and you wonder, what secret vitamin are they taking? Is there a subscription for this? But deep down, what you really want is simple. A mind that doesn't fall apart over small things. A sense of stability. The ability to go through your day without emotional earthquakes. You want to feel like you're in control, not just getting dragged around by whatever random feeling decides to show up today. If that sounds even slightly like you, welcome. You're exactly who this video was made for. Alright, let's talk about where most of us go wrong. Because if emotional suffering were a school subject, we'd all be getting straight A's. Mistake number 1. Trying to control literally everything. We try to control how people talk to us, how they think about us, how fast they reply, the traffic, the weather, the economy, the price of onions. Basically everything except the things we actually control. It's like we're constantly negotiating with reality. Hey life, can you not do that? And life is like, LOL no. Mistake number 2. Treating every inconvenience like a personal insult. Your friend cancels plans? It's because they hate me. Your coworker sounds irritated? They're plotting my downfall. The barista misspells your name? This is an attack on my identity. Most people act like the universe wakes up every morning thinking, whose day shall I ruin today? Spoiler, it's not personal. It's just life doing life things. Mistake number 3. Reacting instantly. Always. Most of us have the emotional patience of, well, a toddler. Something annoys us, we react. Someone criticizes us, we react. A notification pops up, we react. We give our emotions front row seats and the microphone. It's like we hand our brain's steering wheel to the most dramatic part of ourselves and say, "Here, please drive," preferably into a wall. Mistake number 4. Waiting for the external world to stop being chaotic. People say things like, "I'll be calm when work gets easier. I'll be peaceful when problems stop happening. I'll relax when life is finally stable." My friend, life stable? Where? Which universe is this happening in? Because in this universe, life is basically a telenovela with surprise plot twists every 15 minutes. Mistake number 5. Thinking emotions equals facts. You feel rejected, I must not matter. You feel anxious, something bad is coming. You feel angry, they're wrong. Our feelings scream so loudly that we forget they're not reliable narrators. And here's the funniest part. Most of the time, the thing we're reacting to isn't even that serious. But our brain goes full Shakespearean drama mode anyway. These mistakes don't make you weak, they make you human. But they also keep you emotionally breakable. And if you want to become unshakable, we need to flip this entire system upside down. Let's do that next. Let's be real for a second. You're not trying to become stoic because you want to win a philosophy competition. You're here because being emotionally fragile is exhausting. Deep down, what you want isn't to feel nothing. What you want is to feel in control. You want to stop overreacting to small things. You want to stop letting other people's moods dictate your entire day. You want to walk into situations, work, relationships, family chaos, and actually trust yourself to handle whatever happens. It's not about being cold. It's about being stable. Because stability gives you confidence. Confidence gives you respect. And respect, especially self-respect, gives you freedom. Freedom from spiraling. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from constantly feeling like you're one inconvenience away from emotionally combusting. That's the real goal. To become someone who doesn't get pushed around by every little thing. Someone who can stay grounded while the world does its usual circus tricks. Stoicism is just the tool. The goal is inner freedom. Alright, this is the heart of the whole video. If the rest of the video disappeared and only this part survived, you'd still walk away with superpowers. Let me give you Stoicism in one sentence. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. Respond wisely to everything. That's it. That's the whole formula. Everything else, books, quotes, ancient Roman men in sandals, it's all just the extended version of this idea. But let's break it down the way a normal person would understand it. Not like someone reading philosophy under candlelight. Life is 10% events and 90% how dramatically you react to them. This is the first big insight. Most of your suffering doesn't come from what happens. It comes from your interpretation of what happens. Someone cuts in front of you in line. Event, mild annoyance. Your reaction, humanity is doomed. Society is collapsing. I must deliver justice. One small inconvenience turns into an emotional earthquake. Or your boss asks, "Can you come to my office?" Event, a sentence. Your reaction, "Okay, great. I'm fired, homeless, and living under a bridge. Let me start practicing begging." Our interpretation is the real problem. Our imagination, not reality, is what attacks us. Stoicism teaches you to put a gap, a small pause, between what happens and what you feel. That gap is where peace lives. If you can pause, even for a second, you regain control. If you react instantly, you lose it. The Stoic dichotomy of control, your new life filter. Stoics say life has only two categories. A. Things you control. Your thoughts, your actions, your behavior, your attitude, your effort, your decisions. B. Things you do not control. People, opinions, outcomes, weather, traffic, delays, luck, the economy, the past. Basically, almost everything. But here's the magic. You only need to control the things in category A. Everything else becomes noise. The moment you sort a problem into category B, you stop stressing about it because why fight a battle you were never meant to win? It's like yelling at the rain, or trying to control someone else's thoughts, or trying to predict when your crush will reply, which requires supernatural powers. The more time you spend on category B, the more miserable you become. The more time you spend on category A, the more powerful you become. This is emotional efficiency. Thoughts aren't commands, they're notifications. Your brain sends you thoughts the same way your phone sends notifications. Some useful, some random, some straight up stupid. But most people treat thoughts like instructions. Thought, you messed up. Reaction, okay, I guess I'm useless. Thought, they don't like you. Reaction, time to panic. Thought, something bad is going to happen. Reaction, let me mentally prepare for disaster. Stoicism says, thoughts are suggestions, not orders. You don't have to obey them. You're the CEO. Your thoughts are interns. Treat them accordingly. Emotion, pause, response, instead of emotion, explosion. Stoics don't avoid emotions. They manage the response window. Most people react instantly. You feel irritation, you snap. You feel anxious, you avoid. You feel hurt, you shut down. You feel angry, you say things with the confidence of someone who will regret them later. Stoicism teaches this instead. Feel, pause, think, respond. That pause is tiny but powerful. It's the difference between wisdom and chaos. It's the difference between, you ruin my day, and, I'm not going to let this ruin my day. You still feel emotions. Stoics weren't robots. They just didn't hand emotional control to their emotion. Reframing, the Stoic superpower. Stoicism is basically the art of mentally flipping situations on their head. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? You ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of, this ruined my plan. You say, this is training. Instead of, this is unfair. You say, okay, let's adapt. Everything becomes an opportunity. Annoying person equals patience practice. Failure equals feedback. Delay equals time to breathe. Rejection equals redirection. Challenge equals strength training. Stoics treat life like a gym. Every difficulty is a rep. Every problem is a chance to grow. And slowly, your mind stops viewing life as an attack. It starts viewing it as a continuous lesson. This shift alone can lower your stress by like 75%. Your mood is not your master. One of the biggest Stoic insights is this: don't live based on moods. Live based on values. Most people wake up and think, I don't feel like doing anything today. And then they do nothing. Stoics say, it doesn't matter what I feel like. What matters is what I've chosen to be. Feel lazy? Still act productive. Feel angry? Still be kind. Feel anxious? Still show up. This doesn't suppress emotion. It puts emotion in the passenger seat. Your values drive. Your moods ride along quietly in the back seat. Don't suffer twice. Stoics believed most human suffering comes from anticipation. You worry before something happens. You panic thinking about things that might happen. You rehearse tragedy like you're auditioning for a movie role. Stoicism says, if the problem will happen, you'll handle it. If the problem won't happen, you just tortured yourself for nothing. So why suffer twice? This is why Stoics stayed calm. They didn't live in future disasters. They lived in the present moment, dealing with reality only when it arrived. Imagine how much lighter your mind would feel if you stopped rehearsing worst-case scenarios like a hobby. Your inner voice is the battlefield. Here's the truth. Your biggest enemy isn't people. It's not bad luck. It's not mistakes. It's the voice inside your head that reacts without thinking. Stoicism trains that voice, not to be soft, not to be harsh, but to be rational. To say, okay, this happened. Let's handle it. Not, oh no, everything is ruined, panic now. Your inner voice becomes a coach instead of a critic. And once that inner voice becomes stable, your life becomes stable. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Stoics weren't trying to be emotionless statues. They were just trying to be slightly less chaotic than yesterday. A little more self-control. A little less reactivity. A little more peace. You don't become unshakable overnight, but you get stronger every time you choose calm over chaos. Patience over panic. Action over avoidance. This is the real Stoic transformation. Not becoming empty, but becoming solid, grounded, clear, centered, unshakable. You wake up in the morning already a little stressed because you slept late. You grab your phone, check the time, and boom, your heart drops. You're running 25 minutes behind. You jump out of bed, rush to get ready. And of course the universe decides to add its own spice. Your shirt has a stain. Your keys are missing. Your laptop is at 5%. Everything is screaming. Today is going to be terrible. You finally make it out the door, and just when you think things can't get worse, some guy cuts you off in traffic like he's auditioning for Fast and Furious. Your blood pressure rises. You can literally feel your mood loading, a very dramatic reaction. This always happens to me. People are idiots. Great, the whole day is ruined. And here, right here, is the moment Stoicism enters the chat. This is the split second where your old self would snap. But instead, you pause. One tiny pause. You hear Marcus Aurelius whispering in your head. Is this in your control? Nope. You can't control that driver. You can't control the morning chaos. You can't control the time you woke up, because it already happened. But you can control what happens next. So you exhale. You loosen your grip on the steering wheel a little. And instead of letting your emotions hijack the entire day, you choose something different. You tell yourself, okay, annoying moment, not a terrible day. Let me respond, not react. This is training. And suddenly the situation changes. Not because the world changed, but because you did. The traffic is still there. The driver is still reckless. You're still late. But you're no longer spiraling. You're calm, grounded, clear. And here's the cool part. That calmness doesn't just save your morning. It shapes your whole day. At work, you're more focused. With people, you're less reactive. When problems show up, you don't collapse. You handle them. One pause. One moment of control. That's all it takes to shift the entire direction of your mood, your decisions, and your day. That's Stoicism in real life. Okay, time to get practical. These are 6 tiny, doable habits you can start today to build Stoic stability. Pause for 10 seconds. When something triggers you, don't react. Breathe. Count to 10. The first emotional impulse is almost always dramatic and wrong. 10 seconds equals enough to choose wisely, not enough to overthink. Do a 60-second control audit. Ask only 2 questions. Is this under my control? And what's the next useful action? If it's not controllable, stop wasting energy. If it is, do something small and clear. Practice 1 micro discomfort daily. Take a cold shower for 30 seconds, skip dessert once, or say no to something small. These are reps for your resilience muscles. Small discomforts make big problems feel smaller. Reframe out loud. When a problem hits, say 1 sentence. This is inconvenient, not catastrophic. Saying it out loud trains your brain to reinterpret events before your panic brain writes the screenplay. Keep a values checklist. Write 3 personal rules, e.g., show up, be kind, finish the task. When moods change, follow the checklist. Values, feelings. End the day with a reality check, 2 minutes. Before bed, ask, what went wrong? What did I control? What did I learn? No judgment, just notes. This turns problems into feedback and stops tomorrow's anxiety party. Here's a powerful little trick you can use anywhere, anytime. The zoom out camera effect. Whenever something stresses you out, pretend your life is a movie, and the camera suddenly zooms out from your face, way out, like Google Earth level. Zoom out past your room, past your city, past your country. Now you're just a tiny moving pixel on a giant planet spinning in space. And the problem you're panicking about? Yeah, it's basically an ant having an existential crisis because another ant bumped into it. This isn't to minimize your feelings. It's to remind your brain that the moment isn't as world-ending as it feels. This mental trick does 2 magic things. It breaks your emotional intensity instantly, because your brain can't stay dramatic while imagining itself as a tiny dot on Earth. It gives you perspective, the core ingredient of Stoicism. Problems shrink. Options become clear. You stop reacting and start choosing. So next time life throws chaos at you, activate the movie zoom out, breathe, and regain control. 1 tiny visualization. Massive mental clarity. So, here's the truth. Becoming unshakable isn't about becoming emotionless, robotic, or pretending life doesn't get messy. It's about building the kind of inner stability that lets you handle the mess without falling apart every time something bumps your peace. You now know the real difference maker. It's not controlling the world. It's controlling your response to the world. And the more you practice these little Stoic habits, the more you'll notice something weird happening. Situations that used to overwhelm you barely move you anymore. You stay calmer. You think clearer. You bounce back faster. That's the quiet superpower you're building. If this video helped you, stick around. There's more on mindset, self-improvement, and building a stronger, freer version of yourself. No pressure, no hard sell. Just click the next video when you're ready, or subscribe if you want more like this. Take a breath. Stay steady. You're becoming unshakable, 1 small moment at a time.